My name is Jason Hodges, and I will be completing 6 full-distance Ironman triathlons in 6 days in a row in all 6 New England states. And the reason I'm doing that is to show everyone, no matter what they are facing, no matter what they're going through, there's always a reason to take one more day, one more moment, one opportunity, and never give up on their dreams.
At 4:45 a.m.
Yeah, that's great.
Can you tell us what day it is? What's happening?
Jason, what's going on?
Hey. Well, day 1, here we go. And I woke up this morning with the same thought that I've had every morning. This is just another opportunity, another day to accomplish what the Lord put in my heart. So here we go. I've thought about my grandfather probably more than any other person ever. And the ironic part about me thinking about him is that I've never met him. When I was a little boy, I remember my mom and my stepdad sitting me down talking about the fact that, hey, Dad, who I called my stepfather Dad because he was the only dad I ever knew. And I'll never forget the conversation. It's like all the senses that you have of like seeing, touching, smelling. I could remember that day nostalgically like it was yesterday. And I remember hearing as a little boy that, hey, your dad is your stepfather, and you have a biological father. And I remember being confused, and that set into motion years of wondering, and really honestly, years of frustration and hate and bitterness. When I think about my grandfather and my dad, I'm like, okay, I don't know who my grandfather really was. I don't know who my dad really is. Who do I want to be? And one of the things I knew from a little boy is that I will do anything and whatever it takes to give God and to give my family, now my children, Josiah and Levi, both of my boys, to give them my best. And I realized I wasn't going to quit.
Woo, woo. Yeah, baby. All right.
I went past the 42. I'll never forget reading the book The Circle Maker by Mark Batterson. And really, so much of my life changed in the reading of that book. I've always liked to journal, and I think there's wisdom in journaling the past, journaling the present, and journaling the future. But Mark gave a challenge at the end of that book of what are you dreaming for? What are you looking towards? What are you praying for? I wondered about my dad, and I wondered, why did he give up? What's his story? Like, why did he quit on his family? My mother was always kind and gracious towards him. She had every reason to like fuel bitterness in me, but never did. And I always wondered, where is he? What is he doing? And I was like, what kind of father am I going to be? This is good though. Good.
Have you ever used that salty?
I haven't.
Dude.
I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how my stomach feels. Pray for safety.
All right.
That's all that matters. Right, John? And it was in that I really started to reflect even on my grandfathers. I never had the privilege of meeting either of them. They both died before I was born, and when I kind of asked grandparents and family about them, and they died fairly young, and I've always been driven. I've always had this long-term goal to give life my all and to do my very best physically. But the problem at that time, and I was 30 years old, the problem is that I didn't have any physical goals. And so the next day I called a friend and I said, Jonathan, why don't you run a marathon with me? He was like, why? You're crazy. I said, no, come run a marathon. And a few months later, we finished our first marathon. In March of 2020, I was working towards my first full distance 140.6 mile triathlon, right? when a triathlon was canceled. I remember on the Facebook and Instagram pages, people going ballistic. They're like depressed, they're sad, they're mad. And it was in that moment when I reflected and looking at social media and the discouragement from all around that I looked to Rachel, my wife, and I said, hey, I'm not going to let a race cancellation actually stop me from doing it. I'm going to do it. And so I decided in September of 2020, on the day that the race was scheduled, that I would do a virtual Ironman. A lot of people have that story. I didn't sign up for this. Well, I signed up for a race that was canceled, but what I signed up for was completing 140 miles. But I knew it wasn't just about the physical challenge. It's really about finishing and finishing well. So I called a group of friends who are very skilled in what they do and that have a lot of experience, and they also have triathlon experience. I said, hey, there's a lot of discouragement from things being canceled. I want to do a virtual Ironman to show we should never let anything slow us down. And so I did. And it was actually on mile 25, Rachel and I running together. I remember Rachel looking at me and she saying, how are you doing? You seem like you're good. I'm like, no, I'm really good. And I remember looking at her saying, I think I want to do this again. She's like, well, which race? I said, well, I'll do it next year, but I think I want to do something more.
How we doing?
Well, 13-2.
All right.
I had to do one more.
We're going to run out 1 mile that way and come back. Then I'm going to drop out. I'm just doing 2 miles with you.
When Mark called me several months ago, said, I want to do this with you. So I never want to be alone on this marathon, so it's huge. It's great to have John, who cycled 86 miles today with me. It's a huge, huge blessing. So grateful. No one wants to do this alone, so I'm grateful to have this incredible team.
I think what stands out the most to me, just Jason's leadership, his grittiness, man, just his endurance and perseverance. You know, all of those words have really just stood out to me.
I had the idea, I was ruminating on it for a long time, and I remember telling Rachel that I was going to do, in that very moment, I said, I think I want to do 6 Ironmans, but I want to do them in all 6 New England states. And she's like, time out.
He's like, I have this dream, I have this vision. And so he started talking to me about doing all these Ironmans and why, the reason why. And I was like, this guy is crazy. Can we just get through this one Ironman, let alone think about doing multiple Ironmans in a row?
I'm like, well, listen, we're going down the hill. This is mile 26 now at this point of the conversation. I'm like, I want to really tell my story. And I want to remind people that no matter what happens, and this is, you know, I know this is a few months into COVID and so many things were being canceled, and there's such incredible frustration from education to politics to families. And that day, I decided to not let anything stand in the way of me pursuing and finishing what God had put on my heart to do. I said, I want to do more, but I want to do that in New England. And I told her, I said, I want to do 6 Ironmans in all 6 New England states. And she said to me that night, she said, can we just give this some time before you do this?
I'm a processor. It took me a while to fully get on board. I mean, it's just a lot to think about physically, and it's to wrap your head around it seems quite impossible.
So I said, yeah. I'll plan a year from that day was the actual Ironman race, the next one that was deferred. And so I said, I'll do that one. I said, give me another year. Give me 1 more year, and I'm just going to train for this Ironman. I'm going to focus on keeping my fitness level. But then a year later, in 2022, I want to do 6 in a row.
Thank you. You guys have done great today. Good day. Let's go to Connecticut. Go. One more. I got one more. One day at a time. Proud of you guys.
Well done,
Light
team.
hugs. Big hugs later. Good job, bro. I'm proud of you. So this is my bed for the week. 9 o'clock. I really hope to be to bed quite soon.
So one of the drivers for me in dreaming big dreams, and I started doing this years ago, writing down goals and dreams and visions for my life, as I'm actually doing day one in Rhode Island. I'm actually living out the dream that I wrote years ago. And I'm living that out because I wrote this commitment down to God that I would do absolutely whatever it takes to leverage everything that I do for God's glory, and also for the advancement of strengthening other people and inspiring them. So the very reason that I'm doing 6 Ironmans over the 6 days is to inspire others to dream. Day 2 will be in Connecticut, and I don't know what it's going to be like on waking up on day 2, but I do know it's when it's going to get real.
I'm ready. It's time to get in the water. Today's a big test because it's day 2. It's going to tell me how my body's doing. So I feel good this morning. I'm ready to go.
That was pretty fun. Let's just watch it.
Today's theme that I've been thinking and writing about is relentless pursuit. We can have dreams and we can run after them, but unless we have this pursuit, this relentless pursuit inside of us, we'll never get there. Because there will be obstacles. Yesterday, honestly, wasn't that hard when I think about it, but it's going to get really, really hard at certain times. But we have to have a relentless spirit about us that already decides before the pain comes, there's going to be pain, and I'm not going to stop.
I am Jamie Bryson, and I am the lead coordinator for the team. Pretty early on in the process, he actually asked me to be in charge of it for him because he's not going to be able to be in charge of much other than taking care of himself and swimming, biking, and running. We just need to take one day at a time, and that's what I'm going to be telling the team every day. I think is, hey, today's the day that we're going to worry about. Today's the day that we're going to think about. We're not going to think about tomorrow. We're not going to think about the day after tomorrow.
Great riding today. The weather's so nice for it. It's nice and calm, a little windy, but the riding's great. He's doing great. He's looking strong on everything. He's still pushing hard. So
I'm really always excited to get off the bike and put some running shoes on. My stomach may not be as excited as I am, but I'm very excited to run a marathon tonight.
Well, my name is George Lim, and I am a pastor here in Connecticut. Right now, I am going to run some of the 26.2 miles with him. What Jason is doing out here and inspiring us to just do one more or take one more step, that's essentially what it takes to really do anything in life well, is to have the courage to take one more step, to be inspired to take one more step.
Again, when I thought about dreaming big dreams, I thought what's next and what's natural is there's a determination to pursue it.
Day 2 in the books.
I truly believe that nothing great in life is ever achieved without a gritty, resilient, relentless pursuit.
Oh, that was good.
All right, let's go. My head is good. My feet are not, but I'm really excited about Massachusetts. Oh.
You're good, you got it. 1 second, sorry. Just hold it so it can wrap and then...
Where are we and when are we?
We are. I think we left. I think we left Connecticut. We're in Newburyport, Mass, and it's day 3, and I got 140.6 miles to go.
Today's theme is really about strengthening your soul. I think that there's some crux, even though this is day 3, we're not quite to the halfway point. Like there's a moment when things get tough. And this is why I say, hey, after 2 days of this, it's going to be tough.
Day 3, Newburyport, Mass, ready to go. Body's feeling good. One more day today. And we're on. Like me.
Time to get on the bike.
Are you doing Jamie for fixing it?
Yes! I just had to get it to pop.
I think some of the highs have just been the cohesiveness of the team that we put together to even accomplish this. There really wasn't anything major that we had that came up that we couldn't immediately find a solution for.
We've all been meeting on Zoom for the past year. It's a little different. People look a little different in person. They sound a little different. But our dynamics have been great.
I don't think I want to cross. I'm not sure.
Can you tell us how the bike ride was?
You have that.
It was the best of times and the worst of times. It was literally moment by moment. Then it got really bad around mile 50. Mile 60 was like, this is good, this is fun. Mile 70 was awful. And then the last 10 miles, I don't think I will ever remember.
There's something to be said with someone like Jason and I have been married for 17 years and we've known each other for 19 or 20 years. And so being very intimately connected with a person and then having to watch them go daily through such incredible pain and struggle, it was like ripping my heart out every day. And I think that was really hard to go through and something that I don't know I was fully prepared to feel. I tried to keep myself together when I was around him because he needed that. Remember that. And the same power that lives inside of you is what's going to get you through. All right, let's go.
Guess what? We have 0.3 to go.
Wait, there you go. What?
Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark.
It's real.
Huh?
Iron Man Shuffle's real.
26.2.
It was a good marathon tonight. Had Mark Clyburn here, Josh White, a good buddy of mine here in Massachusetts, who loves to run, who ran with us for
Just about
almost
all
the
of
full
it.
marathon. So
Yeah.
it's good.
So my name is Samuel Mooneyham. I am a registered nurse, and I'm assisting Jason with just monitoring medically and just making sure that we keep him healthy and strong.
There's going to be pain at new levels that I've never experienced. I just know that's going to happen. But there's something about the inside, about the mind and the heart. I'm thinking about the faith that I have in God, that I really believe, even as I read this morning, that God can lift my head when my head is down.
I think day 4 was the hardest. It's interesting because I feel like all the team kind of said verbally at different moments, day 4 is going to be the hardest. So I think all of us were like, okay, day 4, it's going to be hard.
You ready to go in?
Yep.
Yeah, we're trying to crawl to the back of the side.
Yeah, can someone open the back?
The back. Yeah.
Do you have shoes?
Yeah, he has his Crocs
back there.
Sure. Keep my head warm.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Day 4. How are we feeling?
Feverish. Not feeling great. Last night when everyone left the hotel room, after just a little bit of rest, I got really, really hot. And I've stayed hot and warm. And I think the body is responding to weakness. And I told it this morning, we got to keep going.
The swim this morning was really hard. I couldn't focus very well. I was all over the pool. My form was terrible, Monica.
Jason, tell us about embracing the pain.
Well, this morning I had to a little bit. Embracing the pain is something that, we got a choice every day to embrace the pain, day 4. And in life, everyone, what they're facing, they either reject or embrace what they're going through. And when they embrace, they're like my friend Jamie Bryson.
In April of 2021, I was diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's disease, which was a really big blow and very difficult to deal with. I'm a triathlete just like Jason. I like to mountain bike, and later in 2021, I crashed my mountain bike and hurt my ribs really bad. And I went to the ER and they did a scan and they were like, your ribs are okay, but you have mass on your kidney. So I was like, okay, awesome. Like, what else can 2021 do? So I ended up having to have surgery to remove that. I had that surgery in December and I was signed up to do a half Ironman in April. And Jason was like, do it, man, you can do it. And so, he encouraged me through that, and I did. I went and I did a 70.3 Ironman 3 months after I had surgery.
We can't achieve and dream dreams and relentlessly pursue without strengthening our soul and embracing pain. It's just impossible. Unless you embrace the pain that comes your way, you will quit. Like, there's no other choice, right? Nothing great is ever accomplished without understanding that pain is coming. So when you embrace, you grow. When you reject, you whine. And nobody's got time for no whining. I really want to whine today, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go. Ouch. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The timing of him.
It was funny, every little thing we did, even sometimes just jokes, were very intentional to break a moment of hardship and tension and just to keep pushing through.
So fog brain's like where you just kind of, where you're spaced out and you're not really thinking, you're dazed off, and you may, get confused. And if you're not really paying attention to your surroundings, you could veer off the road or hit a pothole.
My main role was to support Jason on the bike, and so he needs people out there when he is hitting points of extreme exhaustion. In a sense that it reminds me of something that I know is true, but we just need to see it again and again, that we are capable of more than we give ourselves credit for, and when we push, we reach new levels.
Don't stop because of my pain. Just go ahead and run. Oh. Yeah. I said, I told Josiah.
You told him what?
What?
What did you tell Josiah?
He would give me a hug. He say, Josiah, you can do anything you put your mind to. He said, Josiah, you can do anything you want with God's help, and I believe that.
That whatever he wanted to do in life, he just needed to fight for it. Don't give up.
I know everything
Mark.
hurts.
Yes, sir.
I'm a good runner.
You are.
You're gonna be a good runner.
You are a good runner.
That's gold.
Walking an 8-hour marathon is, quite honestly, it's harder than running a 4-hour one. Just because you're constantly on your legs.
Why are you sad?
Hey, it just hurts when your baby's hurting. He's just hurt. He's in pain today.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He had some moments of really big struggle where he really wasn't thinking coherently. He lacked that judgment piece and making decisions that he thought were good decisions. So he needed people that he trusted to step in that could speak for him.
Yeah. Day 4 is done. I'm still ready to sleep, but it's good. Today was a grind. It was a real grind.
You don't need to do it for long, just so that you can get it.
I said a few nights ago after the bike ride, I was completely depleted. I wasn't. Last night was a new low.
Yeah.
After the bike ride, I was completely done and exhausted and not ready to do anything. I literally held on to Sam Mooneyham's shoulders. I didn't think it was possible to fall asleep walking.
Day 5 is in New Hampshire, and it's really about enduring pain. Though it's really building on yesterday's embracing pain, what this is really about is not only the choice. Embracing is just a choice. Listen, I know it's coming. When it comes, I'm not going to reject it. I know this is a part of what has to happen. But what we do with that pain over time matters. When you're in the midst of a long season of pain, what does it look like to really endure through it?
What was that?
One more.
One more. Let's do it. Come on.
Thank you. I was about to say, where are my shields? Where are my goggles? But they're not here.
Stay together.
All right, let's go. Day 5.
Buddy system.
It was just fun seeing all the new areas and the scenery, because on the bike, Jason and I are moving around quite a bit, covering a lot of mileage, and so we had a lot of time just talking about life, enjoying the scenery. It'd be amazing to think about the amount of hours we were on a bike together this week. It was really encouraging to see Jason just hit it right off the bat, but also just seeing how quickly his body was struggling.
You can't run from pain. You can't. Like, it's coming. You can't run from the obstacles. Like, they are coming. You can be smart. You can be wise. If we're foolish with our life, of course, we're going to face more obstacles and more pain, but it's coming. So in preparing for the 6, I know the pain is coming, and I will embrace it.
Can you tell us how you feel about the bike ride today?
The bike ride was fun. It was beautiful. Love New Hampshire. Got to see Vermont on the other side of the river several times. It was fun. I'm ready to run a marathon, and I get to head home tonight, so it's good.
How many more?
How many?
One more.
So close.
More.
You're so close.
We found Jason on the trail, and he had about 2 miles left. So all week right now I would have been cooking breakfast. And to then realize that wasn't what I was going to be doing at the time, I might as well, go and join him on the trail.
The reason I will and I have to finish is because I want to help other people do the same thing, to finish their own race, to do what they believe would be difficult, what they believe would be impossible. So dreaming big dreams, relentlessly pursuing and finishing with all their hearts.
Day 5.
So
in
close.
the books.
You're so close.
Day 6. Never let up. October the 1st. You're in Vermont. Where's your head at?
I have no idea what head's going to be out.
We're in Rutland, Vermont, or just outside of Rutland, Vermont, Pico Fitness Center, and this is day 6 of the One More Challenge. Excited to go 140.6 miles for the last time. We've already learned to embrace the pain. We've already learned to endure it. Never letting up is a decision, and it's a choice.
Never letting up is resiliency over time, right? What goals am I pursuing, and how am I going to get there? What steps have I taken that I need to continue to take? What steps have I not yet taken that I need to take? And so never letting up is really just about, it's about the grind. It's about the day by day and the moment by moment grind to say, hey, no matter what happens, nothing's going to stop me from finishing on day 6.
Yeah, once I woke up, it was good. The swim felt really good. Going into the bike ride, it's going to be a lot of fun. 10 miles soaring downhill first, so that should be a lot of fun.
I have every reason, like everyone listening has every reason to give up, because there's hard things, there's difficult things, there's gaps, there's challenges in all of our lives. We all have reason to quit. And I realized in my dad's life, I began to not take it personal, that he had a tough journey. I was 24 years old in seminary, learning to be a pastor, but had a lot of bitterness. And I remember calling my dad. He picked up the phone, and I said, "Dad, I just want to tell you something. I forgive you. And I forgive you because the past has been difficult. And I just want to tell you, the past is in the past, and I'm going to move on." And what happened inside of my dad was this not only this heart change that I really do believe was God, but it was just this mental change as well. In that he decided to turn the conversation back to me and said, "You know what, Jason? No, I'm sorry." And he asked for forgiveness from me and my brother. And it changed everything. My dad became someone who decided not to give up.
So yeah, it's starting to get dark, and the sun's going down a little bit. Jason was experiencing that, and he said something about how the shadows were freaking him out. I told Rachel, like, if this happened yesterday, he would have never thought that.
No, because we were in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We're too far away.
Yeah, so his house is right over there, so he knows, like, that's a safe place.
You know, the trainer's not an option. We are not making exceptions. So I show up and I look at him. I said, "Jason Evan Hodges, you can finish this.
You're almost there.
Quitting is not an option. We are so close. We did not come all this way for you to make exceptions. So the trainer is not an option. Quitting is not an option. You will finish this. I don't care how many laps we have to be doing here or how long we have to stay in this parking lot." So, yeah, we're going to get it done.
So my coach told me that I needed to, that I could potentially take an hour nap. That's what I'm going to do.
And then we're going to put some blankets on you, and I don't want to put all these on you.
I remember the day that we buried my dad. I remember he died of cancer, and the last 2 months of his life was really rough, really, really rough. And I remember standing there in the hospital, in the bed beside him, thanking him for not giving up, because he had every reason to. And I'm grateful that part of that storyline changed when I chose not to give up. I chose in every reason to not be bitter any longer.
How's everyone doing?
Ready to roll, buddy.
Yes, you can.
Dude,
Are you
did
sure
it.
you want to end your ride? What do you guys think?
Let's end this sucker.
Yes.
112 miles.
I feel like he needs to start now.
Okay.
Get in some time.
Even if I started a mile.
Yeah,
Okay.
get in some time. I think it, commit to like a certain.
Commit some miles. That's good.
Yep.
How many more?
Just one. We got.
The relationship was never like I had forgotten the past. It was always hard, but I chose to forgive him, and it changed everything. And what did he do in that same phone call when I chose to forgive him? He couldn't even finish the phone call without saying, "No, I need your forgiveness. You don't need to be the one asking for forgiveness. I need to say I'm sorry." I know I had every reason to give up. I had every reason to not answer those phone calls and to not call back and to not give him a chance, but I chose not to. That's why when I speak to people today that want to give up, I'm like, listen, I don't know your story. I can't pretend to know the difficulty of what you're going through, but I can tell you this, you don't have to give up, even though you think you do. There's always hope. There's always one more day. There's always one more moment. And there's always one more opportunity.